Straight from the trash can, this is Race.
And this is Amber.
And this week we're going to be talking a little bit about ecchi shows. Because there wasn't a lot last season. We talked about a lot of shows last season, and really there was only Tachibana Triangle, their love to lie angle.
Really? You're still doing that?
Because I can. And there was a bunch of shows with like sexual elements that were not good, not well done.
Like Doreku, which
is
just rape.
Sexy at all.
Yeah. So we had Doreku, which was just rape. We had Devil's Line, which was just rape.
There's a lot of rape this season.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the amount of rape this season.
So we decided that we'd fit in another ecchi show. I mean, maybe at the time it would have been right to do High School DxD because there was a new season coming, but we didn't want to do that one because that's trash.
And I hadn't seen it previously, so we would have had to start at the beginning.
Well, we started at the beginning with the shows we did watch.
Fair, but now there's like 3 seasons of High School DxD.
Fair. And we don't want to touch any of that. So, in general, like, we don't hate ecchi shows. Like, it's easy to come off as hating ecchi shows because a lot of ecchi shows are bad.
Yeah, some of them are genuinely just garbage, and I don't mind ecchi when it comes up, but
they're traditionally, kind of seen as garbage shows for garbage people, and like that's kind of wrong. Like, there's a lot of good ecchi shows out there.
Yeah, and let's see, I can think of 1.5 off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about those after we talk about the couple that we tried in lieu of what we ended up watching.
Yeah, okay, so I went out to search to find the most ecchi of ecchi shows that we could find that wasn't just straight up porn.
Yeah.
Because the line there is a little fine.
It's basically, will it stream on Crunchyroll?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So the two that I came up with were Prison School and Monster Musume. Now, I have heard fantastic things about both of these shows, which is why I wanted to give them a chance at all.
Yeah, I've heard less fantastic things about Monster Musume, but I like the concept better. So that was the one I was leaning towards of the two of them.
Yeah,
I have a thing for Monster Girls.
Well, and that's kind of what I heard good about it too, was that Reddit was gushing all over it while it was airing, mostly because of the Monster Girls.
Because Monster Girls are adorable and they need love.
They do. They do. Maybe not these ones.
No. Not this kind of love.
I don't know. That Lami is pretty thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're all pretty thirsty.
Oh, yeah. So we watched one episode of both of these. And we hated them.
They nearly killed us.
We decided to take shots when there was boobies on screen and stuff. That was terrible.
And within the first minute of both shows, we had bare nipples, bare asses, full-on simulated sex acts.
Oh, yeah.
Like this.
That was the best part of Monster Musume, was the simulated sex acts. Those were kind of hilarious.
That was hilarious, but it was too much.
It felt like it wasn't meant to be funny, though. It felt like it was meant to be porn.
Yeah, it was trying too hard.
Yeah.
And Prison School is just...
My biggest problem with Prison School was not the plot or anything to do with that. It's just the fact that it's fucking ugly.
God, it's so ugly.
I know that people will argue that, it's a style, and if it commits to the style so well, and no.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
And, okay, so after watching Prison School, a couple of days after we watched that episode, I decided to pick up the manga and start reading it. And the art, it's the same character designs. Everything looks really similar, but it just looks so much better in black and white.
Yeah, it's hard to do a show like that in motion. Mostly the problem is, like, the weird color gradients on everything it's not a good way to translate that from black and white, for one thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't translate well to screen. And, well, so I haven't finished the manga.
The only thing I'll say wrong about the plot is that no characters were likable, or I could attach myself to it anyway.
I actually kind of think that's okay. Everyone in the show is garbage.
Yeah, but I didn't have anyone to root for. I didn't care where the plot was going.
Well, you've got the main couple. The guy and then the girl that has the sumo fetish. She's kind of sweet.
She's kind of sweet. I still
and he just wants a date with her, but then he goes along with his friend's stupid ideas, and yeah, everyone in the show is just garbage.
Yeah.
And so I haven't finished the manga. I think I'm about halfway through, wherever it is now. If it's finished or not, I'm not sure. But I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's over the top, and that's fine. But
it just very much wasn't my style. I think we should talk a little bit about Monster Musume. Monster Musume, we watched the first episode, and like, I really like the character designs.
Yeah, the character.
That's about where it
the
ends.
monster girls are cute. The guy is just bland as fuck.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
The
it's a harem.
Like the agent girl was fine. Like
I actually kind of liked her.
Yeah.
I think
like, the character designs, like for the most part, like even the guy wasn't that bad for a harem protagonist. He didn't have like medium length brown hair like every harem protagonist.
But he kind of had that. He has that harem protagonist look, and he has the harem protagonist personality. That is to say, none.
Yes.
And the main girl just wants him for no fucking reason. It's just a harem with a little bit more titillation.
Yeah. That's the biggest problem for me. It was a harem plot, and it was just a pandery bullshit harem plot.
Yeah,
and so it was bad.
Yeah, so watching the whole thing would have just been a competition to see, over who was best girl, which is clearly Poppy, or maybe Rocknera, because I do love me some bondage spiders.
That's probably who I'd end up with. Go with, yeah.
But Poppy, her character design is so freaking adorable. Those little shorts.
Yeah. She's a little on the youthful side.
True, yeah, you're kind of do have a problem with that. And she's also a bird brain, so...
And it also bothers me way too much that she has the same English voice as Paprika.
Yeah, I could see that being a problem.
From Flip Floppers. And Lulico. I guess that show's more popular. People will know that one. Space Patrol Lulico. Excellent show.
Yeah. And why is nobody watching Flip Floppers?
I don't know. That's a
different show.
Finally, I made the recommendation when we watched both of those and we're like, those were awful. Why don't we try Keijo? Because I've been trying to find an excuse to watch this show for a while.
Why didn't you just watch it?
Well, because I kept hearing that it doesn't actually, commit and be funny. And I don't know why people were telling me that, because they're wrong.
Yeah, so looking at the description of Keijo, so we should talk about what Keijo is, what it's described as, just in case.
Yeah, Keijo is a sport.
Right.
It's this sport where you get up on this platform, it's over a pool. The platforms are all different, but for the most part, it's a big circle. And then you try and knock the other person off, kind of like sumo style. Except you can only use your boobs and butts. Yeah,
so it's a women's only sport. At least we're pretty sure it is. I think it said as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can only use your boobs and your butt, and it seems like some other parts of your body. But you can't use your hands, arms, feet, legs.
You can purposely have someone you can't strike with any other part of your body.
Yeah.
So the main character uses her face a lot as a defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
But that's just so that way they can draw a face and some booty. I think.
Wow, that was something else. I did not see that coming.
After it happened how many times?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so Keijo is an anime about a girl who goes to school.
Yeah.
To become a Keijo player.
Yeah. Oh, let's clarify. This isn't a high school. This is a training camp.
Yeah, everyone in the show is 18 and above, so it's it's like a year-long training camp in lieu of college kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so just by the description alone, the show sounds trashy.
Oh yeah,
super trashy.
Let's clarify. This show is trashy. It is a trashy full commitment ecchi, but that's what makes it brilliant.
Yeah, it leans into it so hard.
Yes.
So hard.
The show, I've never seen such lovingly sculpted asses in every frame. Yeah, they never give up. It's just complete and total love of the sport.
That's true. Even when the characters are otherwise off model.
Yeah.
Because there were a few episodes where the animation got really not great. Mm-hmm. They still full attention to those boobs and those asses.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the art style, a lot of the hard lines and stuff,
where it had the thicker lines in some places, and that was
pretty
good.
well done as on a technical standpoint,
especially for what it is.
Yeah, and I think this show does commit enough to be a hard ecchi. There is a lot of boob grabs and so
one character straight up just walks around fondling people.
Yeah, There's some like camel toe in the show.
There's some pretty gratuitous camel toe in the show.
For the most part, it's not a thing, but occasionally there's like a move that just shows off all the camel toe, and like there's some weird things with vibrating butts that go on.
Yeah, titty twisters and nipple ripple. Yeah.
Should we just get all the names of attacks that we know off the top of our head out? Just like titty hypnosis.
I don't think I have too much in my arsenal.
I should say we watched this dubbed, and I think it's all the better for it because they couldn't have made all these puns work in the Japanese subtitles.
I feel like they could, but it wouldn't have had as much impact on us as native English speakers.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm sure they worked in Japanese, but like the subtitles wouldn't have that.
Yeah, because Japanese, a lot of Japanese humor is based on wordplay, so I'm sure it works really well.
Yeah, but like, it was localized fan-fucking-tastically. Like, it was full of boob and butt puns.
They study astrology, or is it astronomy? I don't remember. Yeah, astronomy. And what was the other one? Do you remember?
The other, it was like boob something for the other topic.
It's just everything was a fucking pun. It was so great.
Yeah, there were so many times where we just like we watched the whole show in the same room, and like there were so many times we just like looked over at each other like, did that? They just fucking say that?
Yeah, and it's just like face in your hands, like, oh my god, I can't believe that I just heard that, and it's so funny.
Yeah,
because it's so straightforward about what it is.
Yeah. So up to this point, we kind of talked about Keijo as a sport.
Yeah.
But like that is the loosest term. Like this isn't really a sports anime. They present it like a sports anime at the beginning.
At the beginning, it is.
Yeah, but
like the first thing where they're doing all the early training.
Yeah, but like the entrance exam, even I had some elements of what it gets to. It becomes a shonen battle anime.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like a straight up like hardcore like special moves.
Girl chasing other girls around with a spiritual wolf coming out of her butthole.
Yes.
Kind of battle shonen. And it complete with bizarre sound effects.
Yeah. My still one of my favorite special moves, because it's so simple and so stupid, is the boob butt switcheroo.
Yeah. Because on one hand, like, why do you need that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if anyone wants to see that, I say just look for it. I think Funimation posted it.
They probably did. Funimation pushed the show really hard when they were airing it. Much to the dismay of everyone in Japan and America who didn't buy it.
Yeah.
No one bought this show when it was coming out. I looked at some sales numbers in Japan for the first Blu-ray set, because I was actually looking at the ones for Flip Flappers, which came out in the same season. Yeah. And Keijo sold, 600?
Yeah, it was somehow even lower than Flip Flappers.
Yeah.
Which is, I thought would be the most underrated show that season. And it was, because that should have been, number one. But
yeah, Flip Flappers is miles better than Keijo, just objectively, but... Yeah, Keijo deserved better. This is the
Flip Flapper show.
I know! I want to talk about Flip Flappers.
We'll talk about that soon enough.
Yeah, but no, Keijo is criminally underrated during the time that it was running.
Like, the whole...
I think too many people were put off by the premise.
Yeah, the weird thing is, I think a lot of people, saw it as a joke more than it was. It commits too hard. I heard that it didn't commit hard enough, and it totally commits hard enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a comedy on the level of the comedies we're watching this season, like Hinamatsuri.
Yeah, it's not a comedy in the same way. It's not like a bit comedy. It's comedic in its over-the-top, commitment to being the shonen battle anime that it is.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and it's hilarious because of it.
Yeah, very few scenes are actually sold as a joke. And that's what makes them so funny.
Yeah, I can only think of one off the top of my head, and that's when the main character just stripped down and asked her friend, "What's wrong with my body?"
Yeah.
And that was played off as a comedic bit.
Yeah, like a shonen does,
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely more set up like a battle shonen than anything else. I was expecting more of a sports show, honestly.
Yeah. I knew enough to know there was like enough special attacks and stuff to
Well,
know
yeah.
where it was going.
Yeah, I waited all season for that wall of butts, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, the wall of butts was pretty great.
Yeah, yeah, that was her arsenal.
Yeah, like I think I've watched a lot of bad shonen battle animes.
Yeah, I think
like,
you've got more experience on this than I do.
I have kind of a soft spot for like kids shonen battle animes like Beyblade and stuff, where it's like they're so stupid and so straight up that I love like the original Yu-Gi-Oh series and stuff. All those kind of shows, I love how straightforward they are. I love how easy to watch they are. So this show really hit a special spot for me, and like just being that and committing to it so hard for me that it became hilarious. Yeah, and because that's why I watch those other shows, is to laugh at them. But like this one knew that's what I wanted, and it's like here, have it all on a boob butt platter. You know?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of those same associations because a lot of those shows are a little young for me when I would have watched them.
Yeah, I've watched them as I was young and when I grew up and went for nostalgia or for like other things like that I didn't watch at the time are really funny to watch, like seasons of Beyblade or like Dinosaur King. Dinosaur King is the best show if you want to go back and look at the crappy like Digimon Pokemon knockoff.
Oh God.
CG dinosaurs and everything.
Oh no.
It's beautiful. But
yeah, I mean, because my experience with Battle Shonen is like Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even really watch that. I think I might just be a little bit more serious when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's more in the like vein of like arena shonen, like a lot of like the like tournament arc Naruto and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you're familiar with My Hero Academia, which has like the tournament arc.
Fucking love that show.
Has like the tournament arc, but like it's not sold the same way as a shonen battle anime.
Right. Yeah, and I think the reason that I like that show so much is that it's not a typical shonen
the
battle
only
anime.
time it goes at all shonen battle anime is the like actual like one-on-one fight tournament.
Yeah. And so I don't have that same association, but I still really enjoyed the show. Just as a comedy, as a ridiculous, you know, I actually found the characters charming.
Oh yeah.
In their way.
The characters were actually really well done.
I mean, they're very tropey. I will say that. Oh,
totally.
But
it's a shonen.
Yeah.
Like everything that I could say bad about this show, it's like it's because it's a shonen and it's supposed to be bad because shonens are bad. You know, like.
Yeah. Although I will say this much. Again, coming at this from a slightly more serious point of view, I really enjoyed that they had big girls in it.
Oh yeah.
Like the trainer, who used to be the pretty little thing, now isn't anymore, but still is more than a fat joke.
Yeah.
That hits me in a really personal way, and I appreciated it.
There was the the butt tack on Titan girl that was just the fat joke.
There was that, but she was in the show for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then was gone. And I'm glad that they had both of that, right?
Butt tack on Titan.
Yeah, that was definitely a localization thing.
Oh yeah, like the localization team had a lot of fun, like doing stuff like that. But like it was definitely the joke they were going for. Like they showed the original name, and it was like Attack on Butt or something.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as funny.
But like, it probably works better in Japanese.
But yeah, so they had they had fat women, they had skinny women, they had curvy women, they had muscly women.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite characters is little pink hair girl. I don't remember any other names because I don't care that much. Like she's just so bad at it that like she never toned her boobs and butts the way everyone else did, so everyone just bounces off of her and goes flying.
Yeah, she's just Jello.
Yeah.
Basically, like jelly butt, jelly boobs, and everyone just bounces off of her because she's so soft, and that's adorable.
Yeah.
I love.
She's also literally Pinkie Pie for some reason.
Yeah. I loved the muscly women.
Yeah.
In it, that was so great to see.
Oh
they
yeah,
didn't get
she
a lot
was
of attention.
Great. Like, it was unfortunate that like she
was kind of underused.
Yeah, she went to the advanced class when they didn't, and then so when they finally got into the advanced class, they started focusing more on the main character, and she was not in the same courses she was. So.
Yeah, because they have different styles, different fighting styles, because they got separated based on their style.
Yeah.
And so she was a little underused, but I was glad to have her close to the main cast.
Yeah.
Because that's another type of woman that doesn't get a lot of attention in anime. They're usually either very curvy or very petite, and that's it.
Yeah,
so,
and it's also, it makes sense for this sport to be very muscular, to be very
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be fit.
And a lot of the girls just aren't.
Yeah, and they managed to make it work by having fucking magic tricks.
Yes.
I would rather just watch,
When you say magic tricks, I'm just remembering the cards flying out of the one girl's ass.
Her the lube on her chest.
Yeah. There's so many great moments. We're not really gonna spoil it. We're talking about a lot of
There's
moments.
Not much in the way to spoil, though.
It's a shonen battle anime. You know who wins every fight going into the fight. If you've seen anything like that before.
Yeah, there's no real surprises on the show except the puns. Mm-hmm. The puns will keep getting you.
Yes.
And that was just the best part of that whole thing.
Oh, definitely.
So, I feel confident that I can actually recommend this show in a certain way.
Yeah, it depends on what someone's looking for. It's not a show that I'd be like, oh, I really have been wanting to watch an anime lately. I don't know what to watch. Oh, Keijo! Watch Keijo! Everyone should watch Keijo. That's not what this show is.
Yeah, this is not a show everyone should watch. Mm-hmm. But
it's a show that, hey, you want to watch something real goofy? Just sit down. Don't question it. I'm going to put on Keijo.
And just give it 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Right? Because, the first episode actually really does do a good job of grabbing you.
It does.
Because after the end of the first episode, we had just come down off of watching an episode of Monster Musume, an episode of Prison School.
Yeah.
And then we sat down and watched an episode of Keijo, and we looked at each other and we're like, this is the show.
Yes.
This is the show we're going to watch. Mm-hmm. So it does have that in the first episode, but some people might need a little bit more convincing. Mm-hmm. Another thing I should point out, the voice acting.
It was pretty good.
All the girls had different accents.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls had different accents, and none of them were really harsh. Not like the strong Southern drawl that you get in a lot of them. It's little things like a girl, like the main character drops her G's.
Back from my town.
Yeah.
There's one girl that's hiding an accent that's pretty crazy, but it's funny. At the same time.
It's played for humor, and then.
Yeah. The main character's voice gets a little annoying because she literally always drops her G's and gerunds, running and jumping, and it gets to the point where it sounds a little forced. It
does sound a little forced, but I'm appreciative of having it. Mm-hmm. Again, just on an intellectual level.
Yeah.
There is quite a bit to appreciate about this show on an intellectual level, I think.
Yeah, it's not a bad show. This show got really panned by people that should have liked it too.
Yeah, and I think they were just trying to take it too seriously. Mm-hmm. But you can take it seriously in a way because it has some elements of being a deconstruction.
Oh yeah.
Of
it's not a bad shonen anime either. I've seen some bad shonen anime.
Clearly,
it's not that bad. It's again those are the kind of shows people say are bad overall. Yeah. Anyway, so
again, it's people are being put off by the premise, mm-hmm. and they're not giving it a fair chance for what it is.
Yeah. I actually really appreciate what Funimation did for this show. The amount of localization they did, the amount of push they did. Someone at Funimation knew how good this show was.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I didn't listen to them before.
But if you'd listened to them before, we wouldn't be here talking about this now.
True, but I would have evangelized the show. So whoever did that push at Funimation, I'm talking to you. Big old hug. Yeah.
You did good.
Maybe a butt slap if that's what you're into. I think you are.
little boob touching.
Yeah. But go bust to bust.
Yep. All right. So how can we compare this to other ecchi shows that we feel are good?
Okay, so There's a few ecchi shows that I watch, like a few things that are very ecchi, a few things that are a little ecchi. Like right now, I'm watching Food Wars. I've watched Food Wars since it first came out. That's pretty ecchi, like, but it uses it as a tool to get people into the show, and then drops it to a point, and then it comes back every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it uses it in a totally different way. Like a lot of ecchi shows tend to use the ecchi as a mechanism for something.
That's what the good ones do.
Yeah, and a lot of the ones that don't, I have the question, why isn't this porn?
That's kind of how we felt about Monster Musume. Like,
yeah, it's like
we're just basically watching porn. We should just watch porn.
If your mom walks in on you watching Monster Musume, she's not going to be any happier than if it was porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, okay, so I will say something good about Monster Musume, and that is that it does use the ecchi as a way to draw you in, and then it does give you something else, because clearly the show is about racism and prejudice. But it smacks you in the face with it so fucking hard. It's not a good allegory.
Yeah, it really isn't. So many shows have done that better, and like.
Yeah, and it's
the entire sci-fi genre has done that better.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, we have fantastic ecchi shows like Shimonetta, A Boring World Without Dirty Jokes, which is one of my favorite ecchi shows of all time.
It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. Like,
yeah.
That show is straight up hilarious, and it's making a point about Japanese censorship.
Well, it's making a point about censorship in general, but
specifically Japanese censorship.
Because Japan has this whole purity culture thing that is pretty nasty, let's say.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like the show's very much in the same vein as like Monko-chan, if anyone knows what that is, Miss Pussy.
Yeah.
Who's a cartoon vagina.
Because everyone needs a cartoon vagina.
Yes.
But Shimonetta is also really smacks you in the face with its message pretty hard. But it still manages, I feel, to do a better job of it than Monster Musume, and I'm not entirely certain why.
Because one of the shows has writing, the other one has a girl throwing herself at at the main character.
That's true. I mean,
they at least wait for like episode 4 or 5 for that to happen in Shimonetta, and it's hilarious.
And it's something that he explicitly is not interested in.
Yeah, it's something he is actively running from.
Yeah,
because she is scary.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe for another show we'll talk about how you actually take issue with how that whole thing is handled. But I get it, and it is genuinely funny in places, even while I'm slightly bothered by it. But it does a very good job of using its etchiness as a vehicle for its message.
Yeah. And like that is a show that does have active titillation too. Like that's not a show that's like hiding it's like joking about it. Like there's actual like boobies and stuff in that show. Like
to a point, yeah. It's all,
and a lot of the show is drawn like a hentai on purpose.
Yeah, I mean there is one girl whose hair does literally look like the head of a penis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's played for laughs more than once.
Oh yeah. She plays it for laughs all the time.
Yeah, and it.
The best one's on the bench where she's wiggling around.
I don't know. I do kind of like the floor where she gets cut out of the floor. And I like how her hair deflates when she's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would say that is probably my top ecchi show.
Yeah.
Because it's not ecchi for its own sake.
Yeah, I think that's my top hard ecchi show.
Yeah.
Like then there's some other stuff that falls into the ecchi category, that aren't about sex, but they definitely like have to do with like nudity and like some level of sexualization, like Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have to put Kill la Kill in the ecchi category, which I should, it's my favorite ecchi, but like
I hadn't.
It's not my favorite as an ecchi. Yeah. Yeah,
I hadn't really considered Kill la Kill, and I would definitely put that up there too. But it is definitely an ecchi show.
Yeah, Kill la Kill is a show about nudity. It's not a show about sex.
Yeah.
And like that, we can do a whole thing about Kill la Kill. Like, I could talk way too much about that director.
Yeah. You are a bit of a fan.
Yes.
not to say that I'm not, but not in any way close to you. But yeah, so for shows that are just flat out ecchi shows, I think Shimonetta is the top for me.
Yeah. Like Panty and Stocking also kind of counts, but not really.
Actually, I think Panty and Stocking might be even a little bit harder than that.
Yeah. Because Panty and Stocking has a lot of sex, a lot of sexualization, but it doesn't come off as Japanese. Like,
that's
is the
true.
thing. Like
I think that's why I forget about it a lot.
Because it's not ecchi in the same vein. Because
it's
there's
just flat out sexual.
Yeah, there's no bullshit to the sexualization in Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, it's just Panty gets naked and hops on someone.
Yeah, and I fucking love that. Like,
yeah.
I fucking love Panty and Stocking. I could go on about that show too. Same director.
Surprise.
I'll do a show about him at some point.
I've watched enough of his stuff now. I can contribute.
But like, I'll do a video essay or something.
But yeah, and Panty and Stocking isn't ecchi. It's just flat out sexual.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
But that's I think you said it's more addressing American culture than it is Japanese, which is why it feels different.
Definitely. I'm trying to think, like, I scrolled through ecchi shows a while ago just to see if there's anything worthwhile in that list. It's like, oh yeah, Kill la Kill, I guess that counts. Food Wars, I guess that counts. So I've talked about those. Then like a lot of it's just garbage.
Like, and I know that I'm hitting pretty low hanging fruit here, but like Eromanga Sensei is an ecchi show, and that show is just pure garbage.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these shows are made to sell body pillows and figurines.
That is true, and there is an actual element of truth to that because anime studios don't make any money on the show itself.
So a lot of the shows don't care about anything other than the character designs. They want you to just want to fuck these characters.
Yeah, they want to make waifus.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of okay with that, but at the same time, like, if they don't make good shows.
That's true. Now one show, and I know you disagree with me on this. One show that I would say I would hesitate to categorize it as ecchi, even though it has ecchi moments, and that's The Sisters All You Need.
Okay.
There's a lot of it that you haven't seen, but one of the main female character writes naked, which is similar to Eromanga Sensei, which came out like the season before, and she's also a silver-haired girl, but not a lolly.
Yeah.
She actually has some quite impressive assets.
But she's a titty lolly.
Yeah, she's a titty lolly.
Which is a different
and she's also
category.
very straightforwardly sexual toward the main character.
Yeah.
She hits on him all the time and is basically just like, hey, we should fuck.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that
about her. You've shown me enough of that show for me to catch that. I still don't like the show that much.
Yeah, and I understand and appreciate why you don't like it. I don't like the same things you don't like about it, or the things I don't like about it.
Yeah.
But there are other things that I do like about it enough to make me finish it. Yeah. Which I'm glad I did. But I mean, that show also has some stuff going on because it's not an ecchi story. It's not a story about sex. It's a story that has sexual elements in it. Yeah. And it has nudity in it, and a lot of that is played for comedy and weird, bizarre titillation. Such as, girls feeling each other up as some sort of competition. I'm pretty sure they banged. It was off screen, but there were lots of noises, and then they got the third girl involved, and I'm describing this and wondering if maybe I should show you that scene, and that will make you more interested. And the ecchi in it, like, it almost doesn't fit the show, so I would hesitate to categorize it as an ecchi show.
Well, it's all about the characters' personalities.
Yeah.
And that's where the ecchi comes in on that show.
The problem is the main character is a piece of human garbage.
Yeah, and I'm sick of shows that are like that. Yeah.
And everyone enables him.
Yeah, I'm double sick of shows like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other, like, flat-out ecchi shows that I enjoyed. Because there are, I think I just overlook it a lot.
I mean, yeah, like, Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches has a lot of kissing, but it's not that sexual.
Yeah, there's very little other content in it. It's hinted at, but not...
Yeah. There's not a whole lot more I'd like to talk about, at least. Like,
yeah. So I feel a little weird about just like leaving it on like these 3 shows are good and the rest of them suck because that's not the case.
It's not true, but like there's a lot of caution you have to go into like with like kind of genre. And, like I know there's a bunch. High School of the Dead. A lot of people love. I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I feel like that might be a little much for me.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that has, like, the weird boob thing. There's the scene that everyone sees where the guy, like, shoots a gun and it flies through her boobs. Yeah, and I think that's High School of the Dead, and I don't think I can watch that.
There's an anime I've seen clips from that looks hilarious, almost on the level of Keijo for committing to it, called Grenadier.
Never heard of it.
I've never watched it, but it's a like a shootout anime with girls with giant boobs, and like she like throws clips out of her cleavage and like reloads. I need to show you clips from that show at some point.
Okay, yeah.
I need to watch that show at some point.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch it.
There is a lot of ecchi out there that is on that level, that is funny like that. And we should turn off those notifications. Oh well.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff, and I honestly think most of the time, ecchi, I just overlook the ecchi elements until it becomes too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
And
there are only a few shows that I've gone into, like, just commit to the ecchi, like Food Wars and like Keijo, and I tried to do that with Prison School and Monster Musume,
but
it just didn't work.
Yeah. Let's see. This season, I know Mahou Shoujo Ore has a lot of elements in that.
Yes and no. Like,
yeah, the whole last episode.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of male titillation in
True.
that show. Which
maybe that's why I'm a little bit
nice.
more appreciative of it.
Yeah, like there's been a couple of shows this season that had that.
Yeah, this is tiramisu. But yeah, it's such a weird topic. And again, I feel like I have to preface it with I don't hate ecchi. I just don't end up watching a lot of it. Because the shows are otherwise not good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if it's got flat out fucking in it, as long as it's a good show.
Yeah, I think that's the point. It's like, we want shows that are good on their own merit. And like, use the ecchi elements for their benefit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to titillate me and get me excited and like hot and bothered, I'm just gonna go watch porn.
Yeah. And like, I feel like that might be a cultural thing where like porn is so far beyond what you're supposed to be watching in Japan, but like you can slowly eke up to the point.
Yeah, I suppose.
And so I think that we're really running out of points.
I think we are. I think we said all we should say, but I do want to leave again. Keijo is a lot better than it should be.
Yeah, I'm
glad
really
I watched it.
Adored that show. Like, I think everyone should try it if it sounds anywhere up your alley.
Yeah, even if you might just like it ironically.
Yes, it's totally fine to like the show ironically.
Yeah.
This is a show that wants you to like it ironically.
Oh yeah.
And ironically buy the Blu-ray, and ironically buy the figures, and ironically wear shirts that say Keijo on them. Like I'll be doing. I mean,
I don't know if you know about this. Okay, I should talk about this before we go. I think it's somewhere in Spain. After Keijo came out, there was a group of people that actually organized a real Keijo match. As I recall, I didn't.
Sounds like a way for someone to get hurt.
Yeah, I didn't follow up on it, but as I recall, it was a total disaster. But just conceptually, I loved that they actually wanted to try it.
Yeah. I feel like that's just a way to get hurt. Like,
yeah.
Actual hips slamming into each other is just a good way to, like, displace your spine.
Yeah. And I mean, swinging boobs at each other, that's really not going to do much.
It's not going to do much. It's not going to be fun for anyone.
Yeah. So that happened. So, yeah, I think that's all I've got on Keijo.
So I'm going to go find that video, and good night, everybody.
Good night.
Closing the lid.